You're watching Between Two Chiles. Today our guest is Bernalillo County Clerk Maggie Toulouse Oliver, who is running for Secretary of State for the state of New Mexico.
Hi,
Maggie.
Hi guys.
Welcome to the show, Maggie.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you for being on. We're on our 7th episode now, and this is just a series to update young adults in New Mexico to be excited about both politics and let them know, hey, this is what's going on in the state, and this is something we can be actively involved in. So thank you again.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so you, not too long ago, were an active member of the Young Democrats of New Mexico. What motivated you to apply for Bernalillo County Clerk and now the Secretary of State?
Yes, I was active in the Young Democrats probably a little bit longer ago than I would have liked, but I actually applied for and became county clerk at the age of 30, so I was a Young Democrat at the time.
Awesome.
I had been working on campaigns for a number of years, and I actually left the graduate school in 2004 to work the 2004 presidential election cycle and took a job with the League of Conservation Voters, and I worked there for 3 years. My time there came to an end, and that was the same time in which the former county clerk was elected Secretary of State in 2006. So there was a vacancy in her position. I had been spending a number of years doing voter registration, mobilization, and education efforts for a variety of campaigns and causes, including at LCV, and I saw the opportunity to apply for the position, and I thought that I had the right experience and background to do it, so I took it.
Awesome.
Well, we're glad you did.
Yes, we're very, very grateful you did. And stepping up as a young Democrat, let that be a message to all of you. It can be done, and it should be done.
Absolutely.
Go out there. Maggie's a testament to it.
Absolutely.
What will you bring to the Secretary of State's office that will encourage voter expansion and voter registration? And could you give us a little bit of the history of where we are as a state right now and what you would like to do?
Absolutely. That is a really great question. And one of the things that I've talked about the Secretary of State's office for quite a while now is that it can play not only a role in terms of just providing the functional basic necessities for registering folks to vote, but the Secretary of State's office can and should be the primary voter education and mobilization office in the state. So the Secretary of State's office should be doing a lot of different things to reach out to voters, to encourage them to get registered and get participating in elections. One of the things, and I know we'll probably talk about it a little bit more later, is we've been encouraging, or I worked in the legislature to establish online voter registration around the state. So that was one really big step that we took as a state at the beginning of the year. But it's more than just doing things like creating an opportunity for voters to register online. It's also making sure the information is out in the community, making sure that we're letting people know that this is an option for them. When I go around the state and I talk to folks about the need to get folks registered to vote and participating, a lot of folks don't even know that we have this option now. So I really see the Secretary of State's office not only as the provider of these opportunities, but really as a bully pulpit to get out there and let folks know through social media, through voter education programs, through community organizing to a certain extent, that this opportunity is available to them. And at the end of the day, a lot of people will take advantage of online voter registration, but there will still be communities that we need to get into to let folks know about how they can register and cast a ballot.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for forging that path for us online. That's our median and everything that we do as Young Dems. So.
And I can attest that I used online voter registration to re-register when I moved from Santa Fe to Albuquerque. So it made it very easy for me.
That's awesome.
So could you walk us through maybe a couple of things that you think needs to be done to help restore the trust in the Secretary of State's office in light of some of the scandal that it's been attracting in the past year?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because the situation that occurred with the former Secretary of State, I think, was really disappointing for all of New Mexico, for all New Mexicans, and myself included. I think that it really demonstrated that we have a problem in the Secretary of State's office, which also happens to be the Chief Ethics Officer for the state of New Mexico. And I think, Zach, you mentioned lower and declining voter turnout in New Mexico, and I think one of the main reasons why that's been happening is that folks are looking at Santa Fe and they're thinking, we have a system that's broken, we have officials that are corrupt and not being held accountable. Yes. So my idea is that we need major significant reform to that system in the Secretary of State's office. We need a statewide independent ethics commission. We have a broken campaign finance system that needs to be fixed so that folks know who are supporting these candidates, what kind of contributions are being made, how is that money being spent. It's going to take a little bit of time, but if we can fix the system, I truly believe that we can begin to start ensuring that trust that voters need to have, and I think that will help motivate them to want to participate. We have to give voters a reason to want to participate in elections.